Mattel makes a lot of strange decisions. In my opinion, this series here was a strange decision. I mean, welcome to Radiator Springs. A lot of people think it's a continuation of the Radiator Springs classic series that was exclusive to Toys R Us stores for many, many years, from like 2013 to 2018. But I mean, it simply isn't that, it's nothing like the theme of that series. It doesn't have cars that were released many years ago. These are all just, Radiator Springs townies with accessories and bumper stickers. That's literally what it is. And they're exclusive to Target now. I have nothing against the series, don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of a weird choice. I mean, we have Vietnam variants of all the, known main characters just with random accessories. I mean, Sarge in the cone? Ramone in the oil can? What? Like, why not some paint supplies? You know what would have been cool? Would have been Ramone in like one of those painted hoods in the front of his shop. Like, I think that would have been awesome. But regardless, anyways, welcome to day 7 of the 12 days of Christmas. We're already almost over, actually halfway done. It's insane. This series has flown by, but it's been a ton of fun. Christmas is at the end of the week. It's on Friday. Wow. So Breyergal Isabel and Cars Diecast reviewer asked me to do the Radiator Springs 4-pack that you can see right here. And then Itzy Everglow wanted me to do a Fillmore. And then Disney Docket wanted me to do Sheriff. Yeah, so I want to do Sheriff myself because I need to open him because he has basically a bonus collector card. We'll talk about that later, but I need his accessory. Whereas some of these other ones, like, I literally just don't want to open them because I don't need their accessory. Like Sally here, sure, they come with new like bumper stickers, but Sally just has this table here, which was released before. If we take a look here at Mater, hay bale that was released before. Although I don't think I have the hay bale open. Actually, I really don't know. I think I just have the 4-pack and kept the hay bale in the package. And then you have Luigi and Guido, just tires, which I have. And then the radio for Lizzie, which was released in that massive 10-pack 4 years ago that I literally biked to Target. I'm not even joking. I biked to Target, bought the pack, strapped it to my bike, and biked back home. Like, it was a feat. It was a triumphant feat of mine. And now Mattel just literally disrespects me by putting it in this $5 pack. Jesus. Anyway, before we get into all this stuff here, I do kind of want to go through the entire collection, even though I won't be unboxing everything, just to show you guys. It is the Welcome to Radiator Springs series. Lizzie is the most recent release. She is the most rare, in my opinion, currently. And I feel like just, looking ahead, she'll end up being the most rare because it's Lizzie. Model T, she'll be the most rare. She comes with that nice bumper sticker you can see in the background there. It would be kind of nice to have that loose, but I don't think I will open her. Here's the back. So you can see all the bumper stickers in a little bit better lighting, I guess. And then the description says the classic collection. Welcome back to where it all began, Radiator Springs. This quintessential series has some of your favorite original characters plus some additional play piece and bumper stickers. I think that should say, or plus a special additional play piece. That's a mouthful. I love how they're still using like pictures from years ago, even though like the cars look so much different. Like, they don't look like anything like that. Maybe Sally, maybe Sheriff, but I don't know about these other ones. They look so much different coming from Vietnam now. Anyway, here's Luigi and Guido. They were released in the wave with Fillmore. There have been multiple waves of these. It's hard to keep track. They started with like Mater, Ramone, Doc, McQueen, and Sally. Then they had a Sheriff in there. Like, I don't know, maybe Doc was separate. Then Fillmore, Luigi, and Guido. And then Lizzie. But yeah. Again, yeah, that Ramone just doesn't look anything like it anymore. It's kind of cool, though. I like that accessory. That's why I'm opening up Fillmore, because his oil can is different from the ones we've gotten in the past. But every single other accessory has been released somehow, some way before. Even if it's in a obscure, like for this one here. This oil can which is right there, was released in an advent calendar for mini racers. So like I said, even if it was in some obscurity, they were released before. Some of these bumper stickers match their collector cards that were, you know, obviously in the time of 2017, like fall, and then like winter, early 2018 when they did those collector cards. They match these bumper stickers, like for Sally, for Mater, for Ramone here, for Luigi and Guido. So just wanted to let you guys know that. I'll probably show an example. And it's also just kind of funny. Sheriff comes with a bonus collector card and then like a slightly different bumper sticker. So they're like, yeah, no, they're different. Look at all that Radiator springs. Oh my goodness. Here's Sally. Sally with tattoo. It's kind of strange. Like they decided to do some of these. Like obviously Blowing Bubbles, Mater, Sally with tattoo. Instead of just the normal versions. I don't know. Just like, why did you do that? And Radiator Springs McQueen. This one makes a little bit more sense. I don't really know why he's included with the phone. Again, just random accessories or play pieces as they call them. Don't really pertain to the character that much. Here's Doc with a Piston cup. I'm intrigued to see what the Piston cup says, you know, in that little text. So we will take a look at that. And last but not least is Mater, Blowing Bubbles Mater. So I wonder if they're done with this series. Lizzie seems to be like a concluding piece. Lizzie's always like the last one in everything. She really like makes it seem like, yeah, this is it, this is done. But if you think about it, like, where's Flo? Flo, you out there anywhere? Maybe? I don't know. Isn't it weird? Like, Flo is the only one that they haven't released. It just, Mattel just bamboozles me. You guys have no idea. It drives me insane sometimes. Just to show you Sheriff real quick here. And then Fillmore. He's got a really cool bumper sticker. I am so thrilled that I get to open him because out of all the bumper stickers, his is by far the best. Now take a look at the 4-pack here. So it includes bumper stickers. So yeah, literally everything. And then, oh yeah, so Sarge was not released as a single, but he is in the 4-pack with a cone. Welcome to Radiator Springs 4-pack. Exclusive to Target as well. Got a nice little map there. Tailfin Pass. Ornament Valley. Carburetor County. I like that a lot. That's a nice background. So you can only get the bumper sticker. So yeah, they can even, you know, they tell you like include Sarge. This is the most subtle way of saying he's basically exclusive to this pack. But they won't like tell you exclusive because obviously it's just plain old Sarge, but the bumper sticker is exclusive. You won't get that anywhere else. Yay. There's the bottom. So I will be right back with all this. Oh yeah, the bumper sticker for somebody in there is flopping around. That's why I want to open this one and see if it's okay. All right, I'll be right back with all this stuff opened up. Alright, so here they are out of the package after a nice fun session of removing the rubber bands from their tires. Always happens with the multi-packs, and man, I just wish there was an easier way to do it, like maybe magnetize it or something. Like that sounds like 2050 technology, but anywho, they look really nice from Vietnam. They look different, which is what I was wanting. Like even if they maybe aren't as high quality as China, it's not very exciting that way. Like, I want them to look a little different. And Ramone, he looks probably the most different alongside Fillmore. So let's just dive right into it, starting with the 4-pack cars. Something weird, some residue on Fillmore's roof. Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay. Start with Doc. So his Piston Cup here says just Piston Cup champion. I wish it said Doc Hudson, but that's okay. You can't really see the lettering on the cup itself there, but it does say Piston Cup. And it's a nice chrome gold, really reflective, very shiny. Now, Mattel's released many Piston Cups in the past. I believe this is like the fourth different style they've done. The first one came back, or was back in 2009-10 with those chases, you know, Dynaco McQueen, Chick Hicks, the King, and then it was like Bling Bling McQueen, lenticularized, so they were a little smaller. And yet, even being smaller, they had more wording on it. So it says Lightning McQueen Champion there. So for the others, it's a Chick Hicks Champion or the King Champion. And that's a little different shade of gold. Which size do you guys think is more accurate? I honestly think one in between them would be more accurate. But I would say that these smaller ones just look a little bit nicer. They look a little more realistic. These look a little bit more cartoon and toyish because of the super like yellowish gold, whereas this is a little bit more, it looks a little more rustic and weathered. So that's the first version. Then 2017, alongside or with McQueen and Jackson Storm at the Toys R Us exclusive, just singles, they had, so basically they released McQueen with a Piston Cup and Jackson with a Piston Cup as singles exclusive to Toys R Us stores in 2017. And this is what they looked like. I really like these because they make the Piston Cup text much more viewable. Something happened over here. There's like a bunch of paint, but taking a look here, it looks really nice. It's clear, very easy to read. The text down here says Piston Cup Champion, which is clearer than the one over here. So yeah, this is probably the best. You can even see like the stripes there on the back, which we've never been able to see before. So it's just much better detailed. I like it a lot. And then the most recent version came in an advent calendar, Mini Racers advent calendar, and it's probably the worst one. You can not see really Piston Cup well at all. It's kind of it's not very yellowish gold. It's just a cheap looking plastic gold. And then the black part has no text whatsoever. So yeah, not a fan of this one at all, but it is a Piston Cup nonetheless. And in the most recent Mini Racers advent calendar, we will see a like frosty Piston Cup. So I don't know. We'll take a look at that one in a future video, but this is the one that you get here with Doc Hudson. Now, as for Doc himself here, this is a Vietnam variant. Take a look at the base code there. It's 1810SD. I don't know how to read Vietnam base codes yet. I don't think anybody's really cracked the code yet. It does say Hudson Hornet up here. Nice chrome base like he's always had. His expression is the same as always. And even though it's from Vietnam, it really doesn't look that different. You can see that it was a little bit more blended, I guess you could say. There's that eyeliner. His eyes look better, in my opinion. The tires are different for sure. The white walls aren't as thick. I do like Vietnam with this clear Hornet decal right there. It's even clearer than the Chinese version. You guys remember when I reviewed Fabulous Hudson Hornet with tire just the other day, which was from Thailand. So we don't have either, this is China and Vietnam. So Thailand, this just looked like a red blob. It was terrible. But this actually looks pretty nice. So Vietnam gets credit for that. Windows are opaque instead of transparent. Got the trunk there, darker taillights. And those are pretty much all for differences. I like this Vietnam one a lot. The eyes look good, and the fact that that's clear I mean, that gives them a lot of credit because otherwise, it's pretty easy to do a good job with Doc. Just a blue car, right? There's no decals or anything except for that one, and they nailed it. So good job. Props to them. So that's Doc with the piston cup. And his sticker was this one over here, I believe. So Radiator Springs with a little logo of Willie's Butte. I won't be using any of these because they will serve as nice little background pieces. Or for my thumbnails, they'll look great. Let's set that back there. Moving on to Sarge now. So let's start actually with the cone. So as with the piston cup, this isn't the first time we've gotten a cone before. Pretty much all the cones in the past have been like this, whether they be in an advent calendar or in that Movie Moment series from 2016. So different shade of orange. They're super flexible, whereas these are a little bit harder. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. This one says 2 on it. No, they both say 2 engraved there. Yeah. It's kind of cool that you get different colored cones. It's not realistic that all the cones would be the same color. So I like that. As for Sarge himself, again, pretty much the same exact version that we've done many times before from China. Just now with the Vietnam looking eyes. So they look a little strange. They look super grainy, especially from that angle. The mouth looks a little interesting too. It just looks like a bubble. A little puffed out. And you have the star there. This is actually plastic. That's awesome. It's a little sarcastic. This is plastic right now. And then the metal is this part, the roof here. How'd they do this? This is so strange to me. So before, hold on. I guess they did do it the same way. I just feel like there's, I don't know. The hood's always been plastic. I didn't even know that. Sorry, I'm kind of discovering this as we go along. The hood's always been plastic. And then the back portions here have always been metal. I don't know why that never clicked with me, but yeah, that's how it goes. The Army logos are a little bit different. Different colorings. They still have yet to fill in the color of the rim for the spare tire. I've always wanted them to do this since I was a kid. They did on the Precision Series version, but they failed to do it even on like a little bit more of an expensive sideline here in the Radiator Springs. It's alright though. It's kind of almost like a running joke now. Man, look at all the decals or detailing on the base there in terms of writing. Wow, it's a lot. This license plate is 41 WW2, so 1941 World War II, Cabrera County veteran. They did a nice job making sure that license plate was clean and clear, just like the Chinese version, maybe even a little bit better than the Chinese version. So that's Sarge for you with the cone. Now moving on to Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen here. This is one of the most different ones you'll see, especially if you date back to a very early Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen from China. As you can see here on the right side, they changed the metallic red completely. It's not as shiny anymore, which is a little unfortunate. It just doesn't seem as special, but still looks pretty cool. The Rust-eze logo is a little bit bigger. Different color now. Wow, that's wildly different. Ooh. So you can see here with the headlight, you have that 95 logo on top of it. And over here, like, what were they trying to do? It looks terrible right there. I don't know if it's just mine, but that just doesn't really look that good. The rims are more vibrant, which I like. Then you have the little bolt. So it doesn't really have that yellow haze around the outer rim anymore. It's just white. It's also got that little weird, I don't know what's going on right there. Can I wipe that away? Nope, that's a part of the paint. The contingency sponsors are all crammed and mushed together. That looks awful. That might be the worst showing of contingency sponsors I've ever seen. Like, literally, they're all mushed together. Gosh, piston cup, little torquey pistons, revolting mood springs, and no stall. Man, I don't like that. 95 looks pretty much the same. Rust-eze logos are altered. Gas cap isn't as clean. You can see how nicely punched that is. This looks like they missed like a whole fourth of it over here, and it's a darker gray. It just doesn't look as crisp. You have the 95 again with the Lightning McQueen signature, which actually looks better on the Vietnam version. I'll give them that. That looks better than that. But other than that, they did a terrible job with those contingency sponsors. And there's Rust-eze. Ooh, interesting. Wow, a lot of changes. Rust-eze bumper ointment. Just Rust-eze there. Kind of a blurry logo too. Hazy on those taillights. And here's the base. Look at all those numbers they put there. But there's like nothing on this base. Yeah, barely anything. Those were the good old days. So, Chinese version wins. Has a better aesthetic metallic. And the only thing that this one does better is the signature on the roof. Ugh. Get that out of my sight. I don't like that. I'm sorry. And it comes with the phone booth here, which, again, it's just kind of ironic that this is a Cars 1 McQueen with a Cars 3 accessory. This accessory was previously released in that Toys R Us 11 pack with Primer Lightning McQueen. So this is the old version on the right, new version on the left. Very, very, very similar. So we don't have a date stamp anymore. So now I got, oh my goodness, this Chinese version had a ton of stuff going on, but Vietnam actually didn't have any of that. So I actually like that. I mean, this is ugly. Like if you have like a little diorama set up and you just have it sitting there and you can see the back, that looks gross. The Vietnam one, though, gets rid of all that. So Vietnam wins with the telephone booth. So far, I think they win with Doc Hudson. They split with the cone. I mean, the cone's just different color. They lose Radiator Springs McQueen. They win with the phone. So let's see what else they got. Moving on to Ramone now. We got this oil can here. Motor oil. Quality oil. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult to read that. But let's pull up the previous version. So it's actually a little different shape. This was in an advent calendar, a Mini Racers advent calendar. So it's a little bit shorter. And the spout's different. Mine's got some tears on the decal there. I think I've dropped it one too many times. Oh, we can read it actually. From the makers of the non-quality oil comes the latest and greatest version of this Jurassic era product oil from the deepest depths of the earth. Here we have, what does that say? Drug up, only the best. We have, I can't read what that says. It looks like drug up. Only the best of the bowels of our home. Wow, that's a very descriptive description. It says like drug up, which doesn't really make sense. It really should say dug up. Let me look at this other one. They both say drug up. I don't think that's right. It just doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, they did a pretty good job with the oil can. It's clear. It's not really blurry. I can read the whole description. And both of them are hollow. Oh my god, never mind. This one doesn't have a bottom. The other one does. That's a little interesting. Cost saving measure right there at its best. So now taking a look at Ramone. I've been eyeballing this little residue on his roof. I don't know what's going on there. But either way, he's got a nice expression, nice smile. They're full of teeth. Comparing the recent Chinese Ramone. It's now a different shade of purple. Wow, these are incredibly different. And then we still have the old Chinese version to compare it to. So you got the ghost flames on the hood there with the little pinstriping. Wow, let's just appreciate how different these are. My goodness. It's got the low and slow tires with the gold rims. This is a much more metallic purple from China. More pinkish. They both have that Radiator springs pop up in the interior. Blue pinstriping on the back. Low and slow license plate. Huh. I don't know which one I prefer. They're both actually really cool. I guess it comes down to which purple is more accurate in your opinion. And then obviously, like I said, you have the original Chinese version, which has a different expression and again, a different shade of purple. This is the original from Thailand, if I believe. Yep. Made in Thailand. Chevrolet Impala. Cool. Alright, so those are the 4-pack ones. Now let's move on to Sheriff here. So I'm just going to be straight up. Sheriff ticked me off. So I really wanted the collector card here, right? I was excited. And so I get these things and I start trying to put it in here. And like get this one side over here. And then the other side, it just won't go in. I'm not going to try it because as you can see there, it ripped the sticker. Like I tried to go in a little more forcefully and it tore it right there. It was way worse. Like it was all the way up to here, but I was able to push it back down and make it not look as bad. So that bothers me a lot. It's a terrible design by Mattel. I'm surprised I haven't heard anybody else complain about this. Like I literally, if you want it to go in, like you're going to tear it. And that just is terrible. Like you shouldn't have to damage the thing in order to work. I'm upset about that. So lopsided here in the SKU, it says, welcome to Radiator Springs, gateway to Ornament Valley. So it's nice. I mean, it's still okay. I guess I could just use it like that, but kind of upset about that. But beware, don't try and do anything forceful if you want to preserve your sticker. We'll just set that in the back. As for Sheriff himself, he's got the same exact expression as always, just Vietnamized. Grainy looking eyes. And the finish on his black paint is very strange. It kind of looks bubbly. Like you could see it's very uneven. You can't really feel it, but it looks uneven compared to just a smooth texture over here. Radiator Springs Sheriff. They did a nice job with the decals there. Sheriff Mercury, Carburetor, County 0001. No white trim anymore on the Vietnam version. But they did a nice job with the license plate. It's nice and clear. Taillights look good. Siren looks good. White walls are almost identical. Whereas they changed the white walls with Doc. Made in Vietnam. 49 Merc up there. Use a 1949 Mercury, and they've always had that on the base. So Sheriff's probably the least different one. Like if you are searching for Vietnam variants, like if that's your thing, you probably won't be super pumped about Sheriff here. But you will be super excited about Fillmore, who is by far the best one. At least in my opinion, he is the best one in this entire series. Not only do you get this absolutely just mind-blowing, mesmerizing bumper sticker here. I just love the tie-dye. It just looks so cool. The font is amazing. Fillmore's Organic Fuel Radiator Springs. I like this a lot. They should have done a collector card with this. I mean, I think that would have been amazing. But the next best thing is a bumper sticker. And before we get into the exciting stuff, I've neglected to show the previous bumper stickers. So here you have Ramone's House of Body Art. Again, these are the same graphics as the collector cards. At least for that one. Some of these didn't get collector cards like Sarge's here, but if he did, I'm sure it would look like this. Sarge's surplus hut. And McQueen's is I'm not speeding, I'm qualifying. which is kind of cool. It reminds me of Dusty in Planes when he's qualifying. We never ever saw McQueen trying to qualify for anything. Okay, so Fillmore here is apparently glow in the dark, and I could definitely tell by even the feel of his decals. Like, they feel different. They're a little texturized, raised off the paint, whatever you want to call it. Even the stars there, like I can feel each and every star. So we'll try and test that in a little bit here. But he does have a little different expression from what we're used to. Heavy eyeliner, mouth's painted now. His decals are much more exotic and vibrant, which might just be because they're engineered to glow in the dark. But either way, it's just new and refreshing. It's kind of nice to get something different. Taking a look at the back here, his license plate is 51237, Breyergal County. This is blurrier in my opinion than this one over here. They did this interesting thing, and I don't know how to explain this. Basically, they took this purple flower here and put it above. They raised it to the top. So now it covers a bunch of his decals, whereas before those decals were on top of the purple flower. So you can see like Save Mother Road there, Peace, 100% organic. All that stuff is now covered by that massive purple flower. I don't think that's accurate to the movie, so I'm a little disappointed with that, but it still looks pretty good. You can see over here, I love oil, drink organic oil, 100% organic fuel. Save 2D animation. I never even seen that one before. That one's pretty cool. Over here you have Groovy, recycle your oil, flows via cafe. I think Vietnam's decals here are clearer. So I don't know why they did such a bad job on his contingency sponsors. I mean, that's just terrible. That's worse than Thailand. But other than that, their decals tend to be much better than even China most times. I was reviewing, what was I doing? I was doing the Rocket Racers from Vietnam, and they're solid. They're strong. I don't know what Thailand's doing, and I don't know what they were doing with Radiator Springs McQueen, but made in Vietnam, it's not the worst thing in the world. There are far worse things than that. So anyway, he's glow in the dark, which is kind of interesting because there's also this factory custom that's been flowing around lately that's glow in the dark, which also has quite vibrant decals. And the interesting is that they actually put the decals above the flower. So kind of get the best of both worlds there. And last but not least is the oil can here. Just looks incredible. I don't know why, I'm just so enthralled by this. It's got a nice little design. And actually, is this the one that they included with the Precision Series Fillmore's VA Cafe? Because I know they did put one in there. I'm not sure if it's this exact same one. It's probably a little different, but I did want to point that out. So I'll be right back, and we're going to test this glow-in-the-dark stuff. It's pretty difficult to see, but he is glowing in the dark, and in person, he looks phenomenal. You can see the love logo there. That's pretty much it. He looks so much better in person. I wish I could share my eyes with you. And then here is also the factory custom one, which right now is glowing even a little bit better. The stars you can see there. So he's glowing even better than the official release. So before you guys yell at me, I know I just said Fillmore's VA Cafe, which makes no sense whatsoever. I guess I'm just a little tired. But basically, yes, this is from Fillmore's Tastin', the Precision Series set. It's the exact same, but you know, I don't think anyone's buying that set for the can, and it's also pretty rare. And also, I did want to compare it to the cans that Fillmore had in his Chase 2010 lenticular release. They're very, very different, you know. He's probably upgraded his can since then. It's been 10 years now. They're not as thick. Very, very nice, and the spout's a little bit longer. It actually has a hole in it. Cool. Alright guys, so that is all for this. Wow, this was a long video. I was like, my god, I keep rambling. But there's a lot to talk about, and I'm glad that I was able to do a video on this Radiator spring stuff, because honestly I thought I might not get around to it with all the stuff going on, but thankfully I was. But let me know in the comment section below which is your favorite out of all these. And, you know, it could even be Lizzie or Luigi and Guido, one that we didn't talk about in the video. Mine is by far Fillmore, and I think a lot of people will like Fillmore. I mean, what's there not to like about him? If you find that single, you gotta pick it up. So thanks again for watching day 7 of the 12 days of Christmas. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 8.